I just felt so lucky to be involved, you know?
That's special.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way too?
I really do. I wondered what he was going to say.
Yeah, I know, right? Let's hope it's good, Ben. Be nice. A highlight of my week, the highlight, was getting the chance to see this film. It is so beautiful. And then to get to share this time with y'all is such an honor. So really, thank you for that.
Appreciate you saying that.
Ethan, why did you want to share this story?
The idea of the film, it wasn't like I said, oh, I'd like to make a film about Blaze Foley, and that would be interesting, and maybe who should I cast? Ben. It was, we're good friends, and it felt like a way to work together and make something beautiful together, but what would it be? I felt if Ben could put his relationship to music and his musicianship into a movie, well, that would be incredible. I was always hypnotized by him on stage in a band. Well, I knew that that would translate to acting. You know, when a musician is actually inside a song and it just feels like nobody but them could be singing that song, and you as the listener are in the right spot in your life that you get to hear it, and that something magical happens. The same thing with an actor in a role. So I knew he could do that part. But the question is, what's the movie going to be about? What's it going to be in service of, right? Well, we read Sybil's book, and it was completely different than what I had expected from a memoir about, you know, I thought it would be about, you know, Blaze threw the tuft of hair back and his steely blues, you know, some kind of, I don't know what I thought it was going to be. But instead it was a book about a young woman in love with a living person, and an older woman having a relationship with a ghost and learning about her former lover and learning about herself, and all this stuff had a relationship to time that was extremely exciting to me. It was kind of mystic. And I thought, well, that'd be a good movie. Yeah. And it would also be a blues song. You know, because I kind of felt like, well, if you were going to make a good movie about a musician, you should cast musicians, and the movie should feel like, you know, if it was about a classical musician, it should feel like a classical piece of music. And if it was about a blues singer, then it should feel like the blues.
Okie dokie, Smokey Pokey. This next song is my wedding song.
How long have y'all known each other? How long have you been good friends?
15 years, there, give or take.
Yeah, so there's already a true established bond there. How did that evolve through the making of this film together?
I've always watched Ethan do what he does. I've seen him on stage, I've seen him on screen, I've read his books. I feel like all the stuff you do has some level of like, I have to do this. So when he had to do this, I felt like I had to do this.
Yeah.
And there was a huge part of the process that was, I have to prepare for him, and I have to prepare for Blaze. And then you start to understand the responsibility of it.
Yeah.
And at the same time that you get nervous, you get excited, because I believe in my musicality. I didn't know that I'd be able to act, but I knew that I'm a sensitive critter, and I knew that I love people, and I knew that I would be able to emote in a way that might be, you know, useful to the process. But his leadership and the way he ran his set and the inspiration that he was able to get from everybody that worked on the movie is a part of his artistry that I've always known is there. And to be with it and in it and move with it. And I told him you know, halfway through this thing, I was like, I don't know if it makes sense to say it now, but I'm awful proud of you. Because you're doing something that's not easy, and you're inspiring people, and your reputation precedes you, and people trust that what you're trying to do is real. And so it was overwhelming. Every single day I kept thinking, like, good gracious, this is all love, and I get to be around my favorite people every single day, and we go to bed at night and get ready to get up at 4 in the morning to do it again. And I just felt so lucky to be involved, you know?
Even as it was happening, I would say to Sybil, or I would say to Ben, why are we doing this? You know, what is it? Why do we feel so called to this? It's a movie made by love, about love.
Yeah, it's powerful.
And so that all felt right, and it was ours. And now we're part of this process of giving it to you.
When those pearly gates
You know, you're talking about that responsibility and that level of accountability to care for someone's music. It's, you know, it's sacred.
Yeah.
How did you approach doing that?
The thing that I knew I could do was take care of his music. I would prepare, and I would listen, and I would do that. I didn't want to do an impression of Blaze Foley, but I did want to represent, from the littlest nuance to the way he holds out the word road and the way he smiles at the end of songs. You can hear him smiling in some of the words he says. And I wanted to take care of that, because that's magic. So I have a lot of confidence in myself to do that. And I have a lot of confidence in Ethan that he's going to not let me look stupid. Somehow the wind was at our backs and our sails were in bloom. And it was a wonderful experience.
Yeah.
Didn't try to fall in love with
like you.
Do you think we're born knowing how to love?
Thing that I can do.
Ethan, can you paint us a picture of a moment or moments on set when you could feel that magic and that synergy? Are there memories that now start to stand out where you look back and you could really see this story coming to life?
There's this idea that I think a lot of people have about a director, you know, this guy with like boots on and he has a bullwhip in his hand, you know, Charlie, move the light to the left, and you know, Susan, you stink, I want tears, real tears, you know. And
Is that you?
That has never been interesting to me. It's funny, the poster of the movie is Ben and Miss Alia Shawkat in the back of a truck, which was actually our first day of filming, and I was kind of tricking Ben, saying, I called it a test day, and it kind of was. I mean, if it didn't go well, we would have redone it, I guess. You know? But it was a way to lower stakes. It's just a test day. I want to get you guys in the back of this truck. And they started with each other, and I didn't really do anything. And the way that Alia talked to you, and the way that you talked to her, and you know, I had these headphones I on, Ben was like, I'm nervous, and Alia's like, I'm nervous too. And we just start and we'll just talk, and then, you know, before I knew it, they were singing and trying their own ideas, and the characters started to come out all by themselves.
I don't want to be a star. I want to be a legend.
And that's when you know you're doing a good job, when you're not doing anything.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's vivid too. I asked you to paint a picture and I feel like I was just in that moment, so thank you for that. What kind of power do you think music has to affect and change people's lives?
It has the most power, I think. One of the magic things about it is it's a language. The way that music can harken memories better than some, the way that you can be in a really good mood and some song that crushes your heart comes on the radio, and some people might say, oh, I can't even hear that right now. Or some people might say, I need to hear this right now. Music has the most power. It's just a fact.
The arts are an empathy generator. When we hear someone play the guitar and they're singing Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain, it touches what's human in us. And it gets us out of our knee-jerk stance because it disarms us. That's why it's so essential.
Feed the pigeons some clay.
When you start to give it away and you see how much people love the movies, people like going to the movies, and if you give them a good one, it's really an enjoyable experience for them.
Looking at those people's faces before and after and what it meant to see curiosity in their eyes and understanding for what we were trying to do feels incredibly gratifying.
Y'all are such beautiful souls, and this has been such a lovely day. Thank you for this.
Thank you very much.
Really,
I appreciate
really.
it.
2 for 2.
Yes. Cheers.
We'll text you when we're going home and see where you are.
You don't want to know.
That's a good